And good morning, High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, beautiful people on Paradise Boulevard. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. I love the wisdom of children. We all have that child within our heart, and it's a time where we can be even more joy-filled and come from that inner knowingness, that untouched place of innocence and celebration. And I'm so glad that we are the light of the world, and we are at this inner place which has this inner light which guides us. You know, children do say the wisest things, and there was a child who said, I see some people nodding their heads. The child said to this teacher, she says, you know, Thomas Edison was a very important man. He made really great discoveries about light. And, you know, without him, we'd be watching television by candlelight. So I know that we're already plugged into that light that's within us, and we all have that mystical consciousness in this season of love and light. And we have this consciousness where we can, in essence, co-create our own miracle of light. Knowing that that miracle is our shift in perception on a daily basis, knowing that we have the wonderful shifts that move us forward. I had a cabin one time, and we would call... He looked a lot like Dick Van Dyke. And Jim Chimney, he would show up with all those, you know, those brushes to clean, do an annual cleaning on this beautiful rock fireplace, these big, big boulders. And so he would crawl up in there and up on the roof, and he would have all those brushes, and he would clean it so that we would have better use of the warmth that came from that fire. And we would be able to cook things that nourished us, and even s'mores, and have all of the beauty of the season and celebrate winter wonderland when we would go up to the family cabin. So I know that we have that cleansing in this month of silence. We have a practice, a spiritual practice of this month of stillness. And that we too can cleanse and clear the view and know that there is that clear instrument which celebrates the light, celebrates the warmth of the season, and that we all have this inner household that is clean and clear and ready and willing to celebrate the light of the season. And I know that there is that source that comes from the stillness, and that there is the acceptance and the surrender that comes in that. Whether we have to climb up on the roof sometimes and get a larger view, or whether we have to cleanse the inside of that inner household. And I know that even as I take like supplements, we have the spiritual supplement. As we gather together in this loving community, we have some spiritual supplements to our life that we can include on a daily basis. And I know, for instance, when I take EFAs, those essential fatty acids, that I just feel more balanced and in harmony. And that we too, as this light, knowing that we are the light in this acceptance and surrender, that we have that spiritual practice which is in balance and in harmony, and that we experience the birth of oneness. And we can be in the oneness, and as this wholeness from this clear point of view, from this perception. So it has to do a lot with the frequency. The frequency, no matter what is going on, I'm tuned in to something that is already broadcasting. This energy of love and light is already broadcasting itself. And that, yes, I'm tuned into that. I'm aligned with the divine presence in this frequency. And to know that I'm resonating with that oneness. I'm resonating and being this wholeness, and knowing that I can have this place where there is grace and hope and joy and faith, and move forward in this faithfulness. John Lennon, who had left the planet several years ago, he said that, and so this is Christmas, for weak and for strong. For rich and the poor ones, the world is so wrong. And so happy Christmas for black and for white. For yellow and red ones, let's stop all the fight. Whether that's an internal fight, whatever might be turbulent, or whatever's being dissolved in this moment or evaporated, something that no longer serves us as we move into the new year. And a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And let us know that it's a good one without any fear. And as I have that shift in perception, I move whatever that fear is, I move that into even more love and lighten up. How many of us would like to lighten up a little bit? Yeah. All right. So we're here, we're ready, we're willing. And I know that, as it says in Genesis, that in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. And knowing that we can bring that heavenly lightness to our earthly experience. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And there is light. And we can let there be light in our life. And let it inspire us. Much like, I have a friend who's a Tibetan Buddhist monk, and he said that, you know, we don't deal with good or bad. We don't deal with them and us. We don't deal with senses and intellect. We deal only in light. And that comes from the Green Terra meditation and the mandala that we can have in front of us, in the forefront of our mind, that we deal only in light because that's who we are. That's our true nature in our experience. So what is light? Obviously, in the scripture it talks about it, and I know that science talks about what is light, and we all have an experience of this. So we're all talking, I'm talking to myself here anyways. Anyone talk to themselves? Yeah? And I want it to be a voice of encouragement and optimism of that which is grace-filled and hopeful and joy-filled and faithful. Light is a transcendent thing. It transcends any condition, any circumstance. And perhaps light is everywhere present, and that we just need to notice that it is from that inner household. It is from that chimney, that fireplace that already has that warmth which is kindling inside our hearts. And it becomes visible to us as we have that cleansing. And that I know that our cells are filled with light as well, that our whole body gives off light. It gives off energy. And it's noticeable. It's that which we can see and take notice of in our life. So light then may be the reality beyond reality. It might be the capital R of reality. And it might be that everything is that frequency and that we need but just tune in and tune up that light, kindling whatever is there. And what I know is that Jesus the Christ, who is a way shower, and he set the example, and the teachings we can follow for our own life as a guide for spiritual living, what he asks us to do is to let our light shine. That's our invitation. Let's accept that invitation. Let's let our light shine. Let's be in that presence and co-create our own miracle of life. Meister Eckhart put it this way. Puts it. I'd like to buy a vowel. He puts it this way. Let God be God in you. Let it be. Another song that John Lennon wrote. And think about it. If we have some things that have been bothering us, and what's been troubling us in our own life as we move into a new year and a new design for living, what's been troubling us? What's been a problem? And we can pick something that we may have a concrete judgment about. Concrete. Doesn't that sound, that sounds really heavy, not light, right? Ram Dass says that I want to be an environment in which people can love and be whole. I want to be that environment in which people can love and be whole. So we can pick something that we may have made a choice about and to choose again. I may have this own internal thing in my household that says, well, he was a jerk and he owes me an apology and that's that, Or my work is boring, it always was, it always will be. And be careful when we use always, We can know that there's always, if we spell it a little bit differently, and I am a creative speller, A-L-L, we know that there's always that are possible because we're in this limitless life of light and love. Or we could say, oh, I'm not cleaning up after them again. Or they just don't care about me. whatever that is, think about it. And if there's been some things that have been bothering you, to go within and to know whatever I've been doing and thinking and feeling, if that's not working for me, it's not working and it's not workable. And perhaps more arguing or yelling, whether that's an internal thing or whatever that situation is, it doesn't lead us to break through and have a gentle breakthrough in that relationship. Whether it's my relationship with Spirit, my relationship with self, it doesn't allow us to have that relationship and break through to bliss, to the light, to the love, to love and be whole. So more cynicism won't make it happen and won't make a 9-to-5 job a wonderland. What we get to do, if there's something that's vexing, just remember that miracles happen because we choose to lighten up and to have the love and light lead the way. And to know that we can transform it. If our attitudes and behaviors are not transforming it, we can have this transformation that's from within, and we can have moving through and moving forward, whatever this is. And miracles do happen because we choose. We're available for it. We can accept and surrender. And we can drop into our heart and know that for today, we can view our life through that windshield. And it's not like I go out to the windshield, especially living under 2 cottonwood trees, that we pick off like every single bug, right? But we can go out and we can know it can be cleaner, and we can just rub a little spot here, or we can know that if I turn on the washers and I turn on the wipers full blast, it's a lot more helpful, right? Much like that chimney, like Dick Van Dyke guy who comes to clear the chimney. So for today, we can switch on the wipers full blast. So today we can turn the hose on and let it run, turn on that fountain that's ever available, and to know that we can wipe whatever that person or that job or that situation, we can wipe it clean and have it be filled with the light, which is this natural tendency, it's nature. We can forgive someone who doesn't deserve it. Oh, concrete judgment. We can apologize to someone who ought to apologize to us and mean it. Ooh, yay. Yeah. If you spell yay backwards, it's the same, you know? We can see the poetry in our work, and we can see why it's that vibrant vitality that we bring to our work, to our relationship, to our health. We can give someone money who owes money to us. Ooh. And if you really want to be daring, let's try this one. Try this one on. Trust that Spirit is arranging for you to have a magnificent life. Trust in the grace and the hope and the faith and the joy. And to align with that and to know that we are already created as this miracle of light. I know that the story of Hanukkah is a story of a miracle. That it's a story of people who find freedom in the light. It's a story of heroes who were proud. And it teaches us that even when everything seems dark, we can always find the light. Much like the winter solstice, which is today. The sun is already shining. That inner sunshine, that inner energy. And as we look at Matthew, chapter 5, version 14 through 16, it says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. It's always there. Neither do men light a candle," or if we don't want to be gender specific, neither do people light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and giveth the light unto all that are in the house. Spirit is in the house. We are it. We are the light. So we let our light so shine before people, before all, that we may see the good works. And then glorify that presence and power that is within us as that heavenly place that becomes manifest in our life. trust that Spirit is arranging for a magnificent life. I trust. I turn up that level of trust. And I know that there's this period of preparation in this season, and that in this season we can light up that miracle in our own life. When I was traveling in the rainforest, there was like this opportunity to anticipate in the travel, in the journey, packing the suitcase, landing, taking off, landing in the middle of nowhere, but it was now here. Not just nowhere, it was now here. And so to be this experience of anticipating a new birth and to bring that back to daily life. And what I found was to bring that light, that true essence, and to be it, to be one, to be whole, to be the love that we're meant to be, and to know that as we celebrate and deepen this experience with our practice, deepen, or lighten and enliven that practice, and to accept and surrender in that. And when I was with a group of folks, and we were traveling with these folks, when I fell to the grass and just knew that there was the oneness of my heart connected with the stars. Whew, talk about light. And to bring the connection into the daily experience. The oneness, the wholeness, the light, which is ever present and ever so near. The advent of that, the season of that, the anticipation of good. And to leave here today as the best ever day in this anticipation of good, I know that there is this significance, that which signifies or that which we identify our life with. As I came back from the rainforest, I got to identify anew. And so throughout my day, I can look at, well, what am I identifying with? And to bring that to my health, to my inner peace. What am I identifying with? To bring that to the abundant good, the awareness, and that as I accept and surrender and have the advent of this spiritual experience amongst my human experience, I know that I can celebrate grace, much like when there's the advent of something new and there's the celebration, we can set aside time to contemplate. And in our month of stillness, amongst the hustle and bustle of the holidays, we can set aside time to have that advent of light in our life. And to celebrate the advent, usually there's a wreath and it has 4 candles on it which represent grace, hope, joy, and faith. And that may be the underpinning of the whole thing, no matter what thought, feeling, action that I'm in. I have faith and I'm ready to create. I'm ready to create and have that smooth path that Spirit has laid out before me as love, as light. So I know that there's that place where there's, we've come a long way, right? Can we give ourselves credit? Can we give ourselves credit that we've come a long way? Throughout this year. Give ourselves a little credit. That's our invitation. Boy, we're on this spiritual journey. I invite us to accept that gift, that realization and that recognition of who we are. And I know that Spirit is at the center of our lives. And there is this affirmation, there is this affirmative prayer of fulfillment. And I'm going to invite us to say this and to own it, and to open up. Did you ever peek under the tree? Did you ever unwrap something and then wrap it back up? Yeah? Did anyone ever do that? Just me? Come on. It's like Christmas early. So let's be fully present and open this present today. We don't have to wait. We can accept and surrender in this love and light and accept this fullness of the present. So we have an affirmative prayer, that which is life-affirming, and there are prayerful ways in our attention, which is on spirit. I'd like us to repeat each line together. You ready? Together, seatbelts fastened, ready to go? Okay, so we're opening this present early, and we can always wrap it back up. Okay, you ready? The light of love fills my mind. The life of love fills my body. The love of love fills my heart. The substance of love fills my daily activities. The beauty of love shines forth through me. The power of love radiates in me as joy and courage. The presence of love blesses me with power and peace. The love is now made manifest in me. So we are the light of the world. We've been in a year of the power of spiritual living in our life. And I know that as we move into 2015, we have a new design for living, and that we can lighten up and be the love, be whole and be the love that we truly are. We can experience this birth of oneness and anticipate that. And to move forward and look through the lens, the co-creation of that miracle, look through that lens. And I know that there is the light that is within us, the light that is carrying us forward and moving in through us and all around us. And to be in this present and to open up this present in fullness of acceptance and surrender and being led by Spirit. It allows us to do so much. So I know that we're going to be enjoying our Christmas candlelighting service, and I can't wait. That's like opening up a present early, too. Could the people in the holiday choir stand? I'd like to acknowledge you in advance. Much like we have affirmative prayer, we acknowledge in advance. So to know that the musical light is already playing within our hearts, I invite us to turn within for a moment of inner celebration. Celebration of the grace and the deepening of the joy and the optimism of the hopefulness of the season, and being faith-filled in the love and the light. I know that there is the lightness of being. It is being love. It is natural in this natural divinity of itself. It is infinite. It is pure potentiality. It is the possibility of that which is limitless in the deep love, unbounded joy, and perfect peace. So accepting this very present and opening up in the willingness, in the knowingness, in the consciousness, and the art-filled way of this beautiful season, and knowing that it is the very best day ever. And I know that I'm unified and filled with the connection of the oneness and the wholeness and the well-being, and being in this place of well-being and that which is so loving and kind and tranquil and serene, out of the stillness of my inner household, knowing that, yes, it is clear and that there is the clear light, and being led by that clear lightness of life. I know that there is this beauty which shines so fully and freely right here and right now. And I'm grateful for the presence and the power which is ever available, that which I am a part of. And I shine and share from the givingness and the givenness of that which is so beautiful and true. And I release this word, knowing it is done. It is that which is so powerful and light-filled and joyful. And so be it, and so it is. And please join in a couple minutes of stillness.